Grayson Rodriguez has some sort of injury, and Gunnar's injury could keep him out of the opening day lineup. Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. It was a quiet spring. It is a quiet spring no more. We are going to bring you the very latest on why Gunnar Henderson may not be in the lineup for opening day. Why now it appears that Grayson Rodriguez velo was way down and he got hit up. We're going to give you an update on Jordan Westburg as well. That's actually good news. And we have the three latest Orioles Hall of Famers, which we will end the broadcast with. Please like, subscribe. We're here with you all season, and there is so much news. And the news is starting with Gunnar. So Gunnar Henderson, in the beginning, it looked like his injury was very, very minor, that he wouldn't need an MRI or anything. He was actually diagnosed with an intercostal strain. And that's why his status for opening day is in question. It's not for the reason you may think, though. Intercostal strains can be very serious injuries. His is very, very minor. Brandon Hyde is very, very hopeful he will be back for opening day. But the issue is, even if he's healthy for opening day, how quickly can Gunnar get back into spring training games in order to get the reps he needs in order to then make an opening day appearance? And look, if you look at the stats for Gunnar, there isn't replacing Gunnar with his 37 homers, his 92 RBIs, his 177 hits, his 159, obviously 159 strikeouts, a little more than we'd like to see. But look, this is a perennial MVP candidate. There is no replacing Gunnar, but if he has to be out a few games at the beginning of the season, then the Orioles luckily have a bunch of options. You have Livan Soto, who is a great option. You have Kobe Mayo, of course, always talked about. Emmanuel Rivera homered again yesterday and looks really good. Luis Vasquez looks good. Terrin Vavra, and the man I've been talking about for the last 2 weeks now. And let's show you this man, Vimeo Machine. Machine is 8 for 15 in the spring campaign so far. He has looked really, really good, and he could make this ball club. Of course, it's going to depend on, let's just pretend that Gunnar may be out for a couple games in the beginning. It's going to depend on if the O's want a middle infielder to play shortstop or someone for third base, while Jordan Westburg takes over Gunnar's position. And of course, don't forget that Ramon Urias can play anywhere in the infield. So again, Mayo is on the 40-man roster right now, but he's 1 for 20 this spring. And so it is looking more and more unlikely that he is going to make the ball club. Now, back to the other big story that we've been covering and that we talked extensively about yesterday. This was Grayson Rodriguez's velocity chart in the game yesterday, okay? And I did preface this by saying that Grayson said after his first spring start that he wasn't really working on velo, and so that shouldn't be a huge issue. Now we know what the issue is. First, we'll begin with what Grayson said. Then we'll begin with the very latest on his injury. So first, let's go to what Grayson said. He said, I don't know if it's really mechanical or not. I just know some days are a little harder than others. But yeah, today was a little difficult. Just trying to get in the strike zone. Mentally was a little sped up, but I don't really know what else there was. Today I wasn't really worried about velocity. If you read behind the line, or read in between the lines in this quote, then you do see something else was at play there. It wasn't a complete explanation, and we have just learned, thanks to the great rock Kubatko that Grayson Rodriguez has triceps soreness. He's going to be reevaluated and tested more tomorrow. And at that point, we will know more about the status of Grayson Rodriguez. So you have Gunnar's minor injury, which is still fairly minor, but not as minor as originally thought. When will he be back in spring games? And will he be ready to go on opening day? A question mark. Now you have Grayson with triceps soreness, not uncommon in spring training by any sense of the imagination, but still a concern, especially because the velo was so far down in his latest start. So you have that. And my colleague Cam Bryce is going to give you the latest on Kittredge and what actually could be the worst of these three injuries with Andrew Kittredge. And again, Cam Bryce will update you on that. So there's a lot suddenly going on in Orioles spring training. One piece of good news is that Jordan Westburg's back spasms, he says, were caused by his mattress in his Airbnb being too soft. He has now gotten a more firm mattress topper, and Jordan Westburg, it appears, will be back playing in games over the next couple of days. So that is one piece of good news. And finally, something to end on a proverbial high note today is this. The Orioles Hall of Fame, class of 2025. You have Adam Jones, you have the legendary broadcaster Tom Davis, and then you have Joe Orsulak. I was privileged to have Adam Jones on my radio show about a year ago. Just what a stand-up guy, obviously with the O's, 11 of his 14 major league seasons after that trade from the Mariners. He ranks all-time for the Birds in hits, fourth in hits, fifth in home runs, fifth in RBIs, fifth in runs, seventh in doubles, eighth in games played, and just an all-star, obviously, and just a stand-up guy, great for the team. He's now back, also advising and helping with the team. And Joe Orsulak, what a clutch guy Slack was. Many people don't remember, but he really only spent 5 seasons with the Birds, and he recorded a single-season franchise record and MLB leading 22 outfield assists. But he was just so clutch for the Orioles, especially in those pinch-hitting situations. And Tom Davis, of course, many of us grew up listening to Tom. He is a legend in Baltimore, and just great to see these three guys recognized. Stay with us on Orioles Digest. My colleague Cam Bryce, the latest on Kittredge's injury. We're following Grayson. We're following Gunnar. We're following it all. Give us your thoughts in the chat, and we will see you soon.